Welcome back to Inside City Hall. Gregory Russ was appointed to lead the New York City Housing Authority without ever having seen an apartment here. He started his new job on Monday, and today he saw what he's expected to fix. Our Courtney Gross joins me now with some details. Good evening, Courtney.
Good evening, Errol. And Queensbridge Houses is actually half the size of the entire Minneapolis Public Housing Authority. But Greg Russ decided to head to Long Island City, Queens today to visit Queensbridge Houses, which is obviously the largest public housing development in the entire country, which he is now in charge of. Gregory Russ's second day on the job, and he was quite literally looking inside the nooks and crannies of Nycha.
We did the inspections, boiler room to roof, walked the grounds, talked to the residents.
And what did you think of what you saw?
I liked the work that we had done. It was the capital work that's been done there is helpful, the roof work especially.
Russ made his first trip to a housing authority apartment. He visited Queensbridge Houses. The media was not invited along, but the authority released these pictures hours later. Later in the day, we caught up with Russ at City Hall.
Getting the livability of the units and getting to the other things in the capital list that we have to do there, that's going to be the challenge. And in making sure that we include the residents in that process.
Russ's leadership is coming at a pivotal moment for the Housing Authority, which is now under the purview of a federal monitor. That monitor came out with his first report last month, which once again found there were systemic issues with the agency. Russ says he is in the process of reading that review.
Sure, I've got to make a list of things to talk to him about and go through and figure out how we're going to work it together.
On Tuesday, Russ also penned an open letter to his agency. In it, he says he'd like to remind his staff that they should cooperate with the monitor's team. He adds he'd like to make clear that improper practices or conduct will not be tolerated at the authority. At City Hall, Russ was sitting down for the first time with the City Council Speaker, Corey Johnson.
We talked about all the issues he sees, and it was helpful for me to hear that from him.
Met him for the first time. I think he was smart, and I think he sees realistically the challenges in front of him, but it's day 2 on the job. It's too early to make that determination.
Too early to know whether Russ is the one to finally fix Nycha. Much of the next 2 weeks for Russ will look exactly like this, meeting with elected officials and stakeholders across the city. Errol.
He said he was there at City Hall to meet with the Speaker of the City Council and others, and I guess he went on the site tour in that at more or less the same time. I'm wondering why the guy's not wearing, like a jacket or something like that. I mean, he's the highest paid public official in the state at this point.
He is, so presumably he would be able to afford one. However, I think that he is just known as a bit of a casual dresser. I remember when we met him in Minneapolis, I don't believe he was wearing a suit there either. So I think that perhaps it's just a way for him to feel comfortable and kind of talk to residents in a dressed down sort of way.
And he, although he didn't bring the press along, he went to see some units in Queensbridge. I assume it wasn't sort of a stage-managed presentation, but that he got to see some of the problems as well. And the fact that he hasn't, fled screaming, hasn't rushed back to the airport and said it was all a big mistake, means he's getting a sense of what really is going on.
Presumably, when we've obviously asked to go along with Greg Russ on all of these visits. So far, we have not been allowed to, but we do know Nycha officials have told us that he will be making both announced and unannounced visits as well, and presumably that's to get the real picture of what his agency now faces.
Okay, we shall see. Thank you, Courtney. Let's